The 2025 Formula One season has already proven to be a thrilling and unpredictable one, with several teams battling for supremacy. Ferrari, one of the most iconic teams in F1 history, has faced a challenging start to the season, struggling to live up to the expectations set after their ambitious plans for the year. But hope is not lost. The team is hoping to turn things around with their first major upgrade of the season, which is set to be introduced at the Japanese Grand Prix. This is a critical moment for Ferrari as they aim to regain momentum and challenge for the top spots, but they're not the only ones working on improvements. As Ferrari prepares for the race in Suzuka, they'll be introducing a new floor design that they believe could make a significant difference to their car's performance. The floor has been one of the key areas where Ferrari has struggled so far in the 2025 season, and the team's hope is that this new upgrade will address some of the underlying issues that have been holding them back. However, the challenge is not just about Ferrari's own performance, it's about what other teams like McLaren and Mercedes are bringing to the table in terms of upgrades and competition. Will Ferrari's new floor give them the edge they need to challenge the leaders, or will they find themselves still playing catch-up? Ferrari's struggle started in Australia, where they failed to show the pace expected of a team with such a rich history in the sport. Things looked better in China when Lewis Hamilton, despite driving for a different team, managed to win the sprint race. However, the result was tainted by disqualifications for both Ferrari drivers after the Grand Prix, which only deepened the frustration within the team. As a result, Ferrari found themselves in fifth place in the constructors' standings, tied on points with Williams, a team that had surprised everyone with its strong start to the season. This was not the position Ferrari had hoped for, and with a long season ahead, the pressure to improve was mounting. In an effort to turn things around, Ferrari is betting on their first significant upgrade of the season, which includes the introduction of a new floor design. According to reliable sources from Italian media, this new floor has the potential to improve the car's performance significantly, especially in terms of aerodynamic grip and stability. The new floor is expected to address one of Ferrari's biggest weaknesses, its rear-end stability, which has been overly stiff and unresponsive in certain conditions. By improving the floor's design, Ferrari hopes to achieve a more balanced car that will be more competitive in high-speed corners and on tracks like Suzuka, where aerodynamic efficiency plays a key role in success. This upgrade comes after a difficult start to the season, where Ferrari has been unable to maintain the form they showed during the latter half of 2024. The team had started well in the previous year, but an incorrect upgrade package in Spain caused a major setback. Although they managed to recover by mid-season, Ferrari has not been able to carry that momentum into 2025. The new floor, along with a series of other planned upgrades, is seen as the team's best chance to get back into the fight for race, wins and podiums. The new floor is not the only thing Ferrari is focusing on, however. The team is also working on improving their ride height, which has been another area of concern for the SF25. The team had to raise the car's ride height in response to a disqualification in Shanghai, but this adjustment came at the cost of crucial aerodynamic grip. In Suzuka, for example, Hamilton struggled with understeer and a lack of rear stability, which was partly due to the higher ride height. While Charles Leclerc seemed to adapt better to the compromised setup, Hamilton was unable to extract the maximum performance from his car. This is where the new floor design comes into play. If Ferrari can get the ride height right and ensure the car remains stable in high-speed corners, it could help Hamilton and Leclerc unlock the potential of the SF25 and get back to challenging for the top spots. However, Ferrari's upgrade efforts are not happening in a vacuum. McLaren, one of their biggest rivals, has also been making strides in terms of performance. McLaren has been one of the standout teams of the 2025 season, with their car showing impressive pace across the opening races. They have brought upgrades that have significantly improved their performance, and with Lando Norris and Oscar Piastri behind the wheel, they look like a serious contender for race wins. McLaren's rise has added pressure on Ferrari, who now find themselves in a tight battle for podium positions. Speaking of strategy, Ferrari once again showed signs of indecision and reactive thinking during the race in Suzuka. Leclerc's tyre choice seemed logical, starting on mediums and then switching to hards, but there was no real tactical aggression. Ferrari didn't attempt to use a clever undercut or split strategies to apply pressure to McLaren or Red Bull. Instead, they ran a conservative race, finishing a distant 4th and 7th. For a team that is supposed to be fighting for podiums and victories, this kind of conservative approach felt more like damage limitation than ambition. It's a concerning sign that Ferrari isn't making the bold moves necessary to challenge the frontrunners. But perhaps the most concerning aspect of the race in Suzuka wasn't the performance or the strategy. It was the communication breakdown between the drivers and their engineers. The leaked radio messages between Hamilton and Leclerc and their engineers were revealing. Hamilton's request for feedback on where he was slow, followed by his frustration when he wasn't given clear answers, showed a lack of clarity in communication. Drivers need actionable, real-time feedback, and the fact that Hamilton had to chase down the information he needed mid-race shows something is wrong in how the information is being prioritized and relayed. Leclerc's response to his engineers' directive to change his engine braking setting was even more telling. "You've already told me. I don't do it for a reason," he snapped. This wasn't just heat-of-the-moment frustration. It was a driver who felt his engineer wasn't listening to him or understanding the nuances of the race. When two world-class drivers like Hamilton and Leclerc are both visibly frustrated with their engineers on the same weekend, it raises serious questions about Ferrari's internal operations. Jacques Villeneuve's observation that Hamilton has taken over the team dynamic is particularly insightful. Hamilton is not just another driver in the Ferrari garage. He is a world champion, with decades of experience and a different way of working. His presence inevitably shifts the entire